Good morning, everyone. Okay, so today's day 10 of my challenge. And 9 and 10, because I forgot to do a video yesterday. And yesterday was a really great day. Still in my protocol, 12 to 8, and drinking lots of water, and just feeling really good, really energized in my body. Bringing the intention to drop 0.5, half a pound of excess body fat from my being every day for the whole month of September. And oh my gosh, and maybe I'm just in a different space of being within myself right now, but it just is like been an amazing journey because it's introducing me to what is actually the weight in my body. And a lot yesterday, a little bit the night before, but a lot yesterday was around just unraveling and creating space within myself of shame. Lots of shame. Like when I tap into my body, it almost feels like when I allow myself to express shame, I feel lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and express it in terms of like exposing it and allowing it to be seen and allowing it to be processed and worked through and released. And but learning more and more about shame, and not only from like an academic level, but also a personal level, like what is my experience with shame and X, Y, and Z. And so this journey has transitioned into, in such a short period of time, unraveling, okay, what is the excess weight that's in my body? What am I ridding and letting go of? And I definitely live in a more emotional realm. In my thinking, my day-to-day, it's very energy-based. Like, okay, what's going on? What's going on in my body? What's going on in my mind? What's going on in my emotions? Like, really bridging it all together, and my spirit, and connecting to that. So a lot of work around shame is what I am working on right now, which is honestly, I'm really excited. Like, I feel super passionate about this topic and wanting to learn all about it, not only for myself, but my clients that I have right now and my future clients, and bridging, a lot of gaps. Like, I'm seeing so many things that I was working on. The root for a lot of it that I'd been working on for years and years can really come down to like shame. And yeah, so I feel very inspired. I feel so excited to just continue on to what life is uncovering for me, and the whole journey of anything. Like, we make a goal, but it's the journey that's getting us there, and that's so special, the little details that we learn along the way. And so I had a Zoom meeting today. So today's day 10. So that was the preview of day 9. I'm a little backed up. Today's day 10, and I had a big aha moment. A few of my girlfriends and we had a Zoom just catch-up session, and it was so lovely to see them. And one of the women at the end was like, we were getting ready to get off the phone, and she's like, you look so good, or you look really I forget what exactly she said. You look really happy, or and the last couple days I've actually been thinking about this topic of like, what does it mean to look, or what does that mean, right? Because internally it kind of triggered something in me that I've been thinking about and like coming to realize over the last couple of days about myself. And that's like this energy that we emit, and this and I was doing a challenge, like a week-long challenge the other week, and we were like posting videos and things like that, and I find that when I'm introducing myself, when I'm like doing all the fluffy stuff, I'm very, like, it's very easy for me to be in this space of just like, oh, everything is so good and it feels so good, and I feel myself emitting this beautiful light, and like, I just feel like I'm in such a beautiful place, And then what I started to think about was, there's something else here. I seen a post from one of my friends, and she's like, I really like doing this work that I do because it allows me to express my dark side. And then it kind of like brought a domino effect of me and the work that I want to do, right? Looking forward and working with clients, and I find that it's difficult for me to express that maybe I'm stuck and I don't know what's next, or I don't know the answer. I don't know what to do. It's usually, I feel like I'm the person who, like, she's going through something, but she's got it. She has it together. And there's like so many rabbit holes I could go down that, which I'm not going to, because like the point of this isn't to dissect where that came from. But I recognize sometimes that the complexities of human, and in myself in this moment of like, when we emit, like when you feel that really happy, joyful state, feels just so real. And it is very real. It's very palatable. Oh my, there's a lot of hair. It's very palatable, but then also, like, I've been tasked with being curious about, okay, how am I allowing myself to also in a healthy way express my dark side, or my skeletons, and be able to transmute that energy into something that's like beautiful, and into something that is helpful, and something that is like connection based, and then I was realizing, wow, like all of the times where I was really breaking, I wasn't reaching out for help. I would sometimes, but there's been a lot of times in my life where I probably felt the lowest, and stories for another day, but I felt that I needed to be so present within myself as well, or I could only be present with myself, because they were at times that were like, I need to do something right now to transition this. But it's always kind of been in a way of like hiding those parts, because for some people they'd be like, wow, that's really not you, and I wasn't thinking about it then, because had I thought about this then, I'd be like, yeah, but my friends and my community would support me, and like, I know that I'm not alone in some of my thoughts and some of my experiences, but I haven't been able to allow myself to sorry, I don't know if like you women out there shed, but my hair is like just shedding this morning, but a little distraction there, I think. So I suppose allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to all parts of ourselves, because when she had mentioned you look really, we'll say, you look really good, like you're doing really well, this part of me was like, Is it because I smiled and like emitted this love that she thinks that I'm doing really, really well? It just made me think, because that was the lens that I took that through. So I had mentioned that I've been thinking about this. And she said, well, let me make myself clear. I wasn't saying that you looked like you were doing really well because you were smiling or because I felt your love, like feeling that beaming, like, light from you. It's because of X, Y, and Z. And she, we'll say, she was mentioning, it's, that you are going through stuff and you are questioning and you are allowing for like answers to come through and you are allowing yourself X, Y, and Z, all of these things, and to me that makes me feel that you're doing really well for yourself, because it's not always easy and all of these things. But in my mind, my lens that I seen through was, well, she thinks that because I'm smiling, And I was like, oh my gosh, that was not only one really important, because I was just assuming based on my own subconscious. It was subconscious for so long, but only recently did it start to come into my awareness. So now when people say it, I'm like, I'm good, but there's also all this other stuff going on, So it's like allowing myself to welcome and be vulnerable and express that, because it is in my awareness now. But so it was great, because I not only seen the lens that she spoke something to me, and I processed it as this one way of thinking about it, assuming, not actually knowing what she was meaning. But then it also brought to my awareness, when I speak to people, I'll also say things very superficial, like, you look wonderful. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I know that she's been working on her health, and I know that she's been working really hard on X, Y, and Z. I'm so, it's wonderful to see her in this state. She has so much energy. But that came out as you look really great. And in her mind now, having this experience, she could interpret that as in her own way, that maybe is destructive. And so for me, it was also really important to take that and say, I can be better. I can be better in when I tell people, you look so good today, and let me tell you why I'm saying that you look so good. You look so good because I know what you're working on. I know what you're going through in life. And you chose this morning and every day to wake up and say, you know what, we're facing this challenge, and I'm still gonna make myself look really nice and presentable and do this for me. And I know that you've been working on your health, and even though it's really tough, every day you've stuck to X, Y, and Z, and sometimes it's really a tough thing to do, and I'm it's so cool to see you follow through. That's so inspirational to me, and I just want you to know that you look really good. And bringing in specifics so that way it keeps people from guessing. For me, clarity is so important, because I want to know what people mean when they say things. But I recognize also that I am not necessarily the best at giving clarity, because I can also say things that are open to interpretation. Sometimes when we're just mindlessly saying things. So this is a great opportunity for me to say, how can I be more present in the moment and be more specific with what I'm saying, or more purposeful and more intentional with what I'm saying, and really thought through. And even if it takes a little bit of extra time to process what somebody's saying to me, so that way I can properly respond. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that I have an appointment. So perfect. Yeah, I'm a little distracted right now because I totally had this reminder of like an appointment that I'm supposed to be to in 20 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this up. Day 10 is wonderful. So many things are coming out, and I am transitioning all of this. Like, I'm using whatever's coming up for me. I feel like I'm just, not only is this kind of like a public journal, but the things that are coming up for me, I think, take it with a grain of salt, but if you could apply it to any part of your life as well. It's just working on every day being better and better. That's my intention for myself. And just being more and more present, more and more in myself, and more and more the best that I can be to show up for the people that are the closest to me, that mean the most to me, and to really experience life, to allow myself to like fully experience life and step into my purpose, and even my purpose in my relationships with people, like not just the world, but like my purpose at my career, my purpose in my relationships, my purpose in my friendships, my purpose with my family, my purpose with myself. Like, being just more present and intentional is just so important, and keeping that momentum. That's been another theme. So we'll talk more about momentum tomorrow, but I hope you all have a beautiful day. Day 10, we're rocking it. It's September 10th. Huge day for just like all of, with the moons and everything's just really sucking out of all of us and like what needs to come up and transform. So blessings to absolutely everyone in the world. Huge transitions happening, but stick through it. Know that it's coming up so it can be released. So whatever it is for you. I love you all, and I hope you have a gorgeous, blessed day. Cheers to another day of kicking ass. Half a day or half a pound of stubborn body fat that we're just releasing every single day. Yeah, so excited. Love you all. Cheers. Bye.